Today I'm excited because I'm going to be testing out the Quest Pro controllers with the Quest 2. Now, a few weeks ago I reviewed the Quest Pro, and in summary, I just wasn't that impressed. I felt like it wasn't a decent enough upgrade for the high price tag, it didn't feel like it was ready for any serious business use, and it consistently gave me headaches due to the fixed head strap design. But one thing that did really impress me with the Quest Pro were the new Pro controllers. These new Pro controllers ditch the traditional IR tracking rings found on the Quest 2 controllers, which are tracked by the headset, and instead use 3 cameras built into the controllers for their own inside-out tracking. Each Pro controller even has its own onboard Snapdragon 662 processor. This is the same processor found in some mobile phones and tablets, like the Samsung Galaxy Tab A7. When these Pro controllers launched bundled with the Quest Pro, Meta confirmed they would eventually be sold separately, and they would also be able to be paired with the Quest 2, which is now possible thanks to the latest update, which is update 47. The pairing process was pretty straightforward using the Oculus mobile app. In the app's menu under devices, I simply unpaired the original Quest controllers from the Quest 2 headset. I then selected Pair Pro controller, put them both into pairing mode, and paired them with the Quest 2. After pairing the Pro controllers with the Quest 2, they didn't actually work right away, but after a couple of headset restarts and a controller firmware update, I was up and running. Also, something I found out with these Pro controllers is that they fit perfectly into the Quest 2 VR cover controller grips, which have this nice index-style strap that really secures the controllers to your hands. I absolutely love these grips, and I'll add a link to them in the description below if you're interested. One thing to mention when booting up the Quest 2 with the Pro controllers, I find there's always a slight delay with the Pro controllers starting up and snapping into place, but once connected, they feel great and really responsive. I put the Pro controller tracking to the test by checking out my avatar in the new mirror in the home environment. I was also able to check out my new arms, which have also just been added in update 47. Just like the Quest 2 controllers, the Pro controllers feature capacitive touch sensors. There's sensors in the thumbsticks, the thumb rest, face buttons, and the triggers. It can even detect where your finger is placed on the trigger, which I thought was really cool. Jumping into a native Quest game with Compound, which just released on the Quest 2, I could feel the haptics in the Pro controllers were stronger and more prominent than the original Quest 2 controllers. Tracking was absolutely rock solid, and you could even shoot in one direction or completely looking in the opposite direction with no problems with tracking at all. One downside to these Pro controllers though is that they have an internal rechargeable battery, which will only last between 6 to 8 hours of use when compared to the original Quest 2 controllers, which seem to last months at a time on just a single AA battery. The retro vibes in this game are totally awesome, by the way, and you should definitely check out Compound if you're looking for something new to play on the Quest 2. Moving on though, of course, I had to test out the new controllers with the fast and high velocity movements in Beat Saber. Again, tracking was rock solid and a noticeable improvement over the Quest 2 controllers, especially when swinging the sabers to the sides, which sometimes cause tracking hiccups for me when using the original controllers. As the Pro controllers are 5 grams heavier than the original controllers, it makes them feel nice and weighty to throw around in Beat Saber, and the VR cover grips paired with them was just a perfect match. The final test was playing some InDepth. Both first-person shooters and bow and arrow games can be quite tricky for VR controller tracking due to having one hand quite close to the headset and the other in front of it, causing some controller occlusion. But again, the Pro controllers handled this beautifully without any issue. So in conclusion, the Pro controllers work really nicely with the Quest 2, and I'm definitely going to be using these controllers moving forward. I mean, I can't actually use the Quest Pro headset due to the comfort issues, so at least using these controllers I'll get something for the amount of money I spent on buying the Quest Pro. But despite the fact that I love these controllers and I'll definitely be using them, they're extremely hard to recommend as they're really expensive at $300 US or 300 British pounds. They do come with a small charging dock, which has a small cable that can also charge the headset at the same time, which is a nice touch, but it's still hard to justify at this price point. If you're a competitive player, they might be worth it for you, or you could look at them as a bit of an investment, as they'll likely be compatible with the upcoming Quest 3, and I doubt these controllers will ship with that headset to keep the cost of the headset as low as possible. So you could kind of think of this as a future-proof upgrade in buying these now. But anyway, that's all from me today. If you have any questions about the Pro controllers and pairing them with the Quest 2, put them in the comments down below and I'll try to answer as many questions as I can. And also, let me know what you all think. I'm curious if people are actually interested in buying these controllers despite the high price tag. Also, don't forget to leave a cheeky little like if you enjoyed the video. Make sure you're subscribed for all my future VR content. And as always, I'll see you all on the next one. Cheers.